Hello and welcome to today's video. My name is Rayomido and I'm a software engineer from Nairobi, Kenya. When I was starting my journey into software engineering, I faced a lot of struggles and it took me a long time before I got my first job. However, I was able to figure things out and now I've been working as a software engineer for more than 7 years. I currently work for a company that builds large custom software for businesses and governments. Previously, I also worked at a bootcamp that trained software engineers, and I was able to personally help some people move from zero knowledge to successful software engineers. During my journey, I made some mistakes and I learned a lot of valuable lessons. I wanted to share these lessons with you so that hopefully you can also achieve your goal of landing that software engineering job faster. This is advice that I've tested with real people, and they've been able to go from nothing to successful software engineers, sometimes in a space of up to 6 months. So before you start, if you forget everything else from this video, I just want you to know that it works, the process works, so just be ready to learn. You might want to drop any rigid expectations that you have about how the process should look like and just trust the process. Try also to have a little bit of a thick skin. You may find some people complaining about many different things, including software engineering itself, or some of the technologies that you might want to use. You'll find people saying that, oh, this technology is outdated, or this technology is not suitable for scaling this or that. Don't let that dishearten you. Now into today's business, the first thing I want to share with you is when you're starting out, you have to pick a specialization. So a specialization will determine the tools and languages and everything that you choose. It might be website development, mobile app development, or anything else that you like. The important thing is to understand that you can pivot later. You can be able to transition to a more suitable role later on after figuring out things. The goal right now is just to be able to get your foot through the door. So if you're completely lost, you can start with web development, where you learn things like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Once you settle on one area of specialization, you can now proceed to try and look around for resources that can aid you in your learning. So don't be quick to pay for things, but also don't be afraid to pay for them when you are very sure about them. Some excellent free resources that I can recommend are Free Code Camp and the Odin Project. You can find the links in the description below. You can also use ChatGPT and Cloud AI to be able to obtain a study plan and learning resources. You can ask it to recommend a study plan, including courses, tutorials, and books that you can use for your area of specialization. When it comes to timelines, it should take you around 3 months or so to complete the learning. From there, you'll be ready to build a project. The only advice I would give you is to avoid jumping from one technology to another during this phase. Try also to avoid the temptation to follow very long tutorials to build stuff that you are going to throw away. Now that you've picked your technology and gone through your lesson plan, it's time now to start building. So the Capstone Project is the project that you've built and used to demonstrate your mastery of whatever you have learned. When selecting your Capstone project, I recommend sticking with something that's both easy to implement and useful. A great example is your own portfolio website. As you learn more things, you can just add more features to your portfolio website rather than building new things from scratch. Remember, the secret is in the quality of what you build and not the quantity. Many beginners assume that working on many different projects will give them the upper hand, but in my experience, working on a few relatable projects carries more weight. So for example, a well-built personal portfolio carries more weight than an Airbnb clone that you copied from a tutorial. When I say useful, I mean something that can be deployed and others can be able to maybe log in and use or something like that. So let me give you a classic example from my own experience. So when I was starting out as a software engineer, I built a simple website using HTML, CSS, and a little JavaScript, just for showcasing my educational background and the technologies that I had learned. So when I learned how to use backend technologies, I added an authentication system to that platform where users could create accounts and even log into the system. As time progressed and I learned more things, I added a blog and an invoice generating module that could generate PDF invoices. Later on, I added integration with our local payment providers. So this allowed me to create invoices, send them to people via email alongside a link that redirected to a payment page that I had created on my website. I don't know about you, but if I was presenting this in an interview, I think it would sound more impressive than some other grandiose project. So just try to think about something that's simple that you can manage to implement, figure out how to implement it, and improve on it as you learn more. You want to avoid learning so many different things that you don't use. Just focus on what you need for your projects, because in any case, you are likely to forget the things that you learn but don't use frequently. One mistake that I used to see beginners make is working on a project, shelving it, taking on another, finishing it, shelving it, all while avoiding applying for jobs. Please don't do this. As soon as you finish working on and deploying your Capstone project, which may be at the 6th month mark, you're pretty much ready to apply for work. So keep applying to work as you continue to improve on your skills. Another lesson that I want to share with you is prep for interviews. So as soon as you start applying for work, spend some time researching interview questions and the answers. Not only will this help you prep for your interviews, but you will also learn a lot of valuable lessons about software engineering through that research. Remember not to get overwhelmed during your learning. You will learn a lot more on the job. What you need initially is to learn just enough to be able to comfortably build stuff. You learn much more as the need arises at the workplace. The other tip that I want to give you as a bonus tip is prepare for the salary question. Always look up the salary ranges to the position that you're applying to in your specific area. Use websites like Glassdoor for this research. This will help you not to get caught off guard by this question. So that's it for today's video. I hope I was able to help you with some tips on how to land that job faster. Thank you so much. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. See you in the next one.